Welcome back for another match of this tournament. Round of 16 is still going on. There's another match going on. It is Australia versus Poland, and that's on the other channel. We have two simultaneous matches right now, and this is one of them. I'm Petraj. I will be commentating with Potassium F. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Ready for another block of matches here. This time, these two matches happening simultaneously, both in the losers bracket. So we will be seeing two teams being eliminated here. Make sure you go check out the other stream as well, OSU Live _2 on Twitch if you want to be watching Poland versus Australia there. But looking like an interesting matchup here. Indonesia getting upset last week by, I believe it was Italy, after Italy showed some incredible performances across the board.
Yeah, I do believe that Italy shows a lot of promise, especially towards the early game, but they do have a roster that can stand up to the late game matches as well. So really looking forward to see how they fare in the winners bracket. But this is a losers bracket, and Germany versus Indonesia is a pretty interesting case because Germany has been an underdog for many years.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Germany getting the short end of the stick of that upset that happened last time, at least seeding-wise here, up against a pretty strong team on paper. But that said, I think Germany's skill sets kind of match up decently well, honestly, against Indonesia. Germany being a team that is fairly strong when it comes to the LN picks that we saw last week as well, with some strong team scores on the LNs. Whereas Indonesia is kind of the opposite. They are definitely more of a rice-favored team.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to witness. Indonesia is going to opt for rice number 4 as a protect, so Indonesia banking on the technical side of things rather than the straightforward side of things. Germany, however, going for the straightforward LN number 2, kind of more density oriented LN. And Germany opting for a hybrid 3 ban. That was not super expected, but granted that the map is really challenging and really awkward to handle, maybe Germany is just not feeling comfortable on it. And rice number 3 is going to be Indonesia's ban. Probably a risky pick in terms of accuracy, sharpshooting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Germany must have some kind of extreme difficulties on Hybrid 3 because I don't think Hybrid 3 was particularly a map that Indonesia was wanting to pick in the first place. So I think Indonesia is perfectly fine with how the bans have gone out here. And in fact, I mean, also from Indonesia's side, I don't know why Indonesia bans Rice 3 either. But here we are. We are going into a Rice pick from Indonesia first regardless.
Yeah, I feel like Indonesia feels pretty comfortable on all of the maps, just by vibes. But I guess rice number 3 is like, I feel like that's the one map they feel like they can be challenged on. Yeah, the first pick is going to be Jump Stream at clocking in at 238 BPM, just almost 240. Let's just round it up.
Yeah, this one a pretty fast map to be seeing early on in the tournament, but we have been getting across the years faster and faster. As the MWCs have been rolling on, players are just getting too comfortable with the high BPMs.
Yeah, I feel like over the years, the BPM hasn't like hasn't really gone super high, but the players have gotten more and more comfortable, and we are definitely seeing more and more players who are capable of having really nice scores on those types of picks. So kind of looking forward to see what Indonesia has to provide and how Germany can challenge Indonesia on this type of pick.
Yeah, well, let's see how this one goes. I think Germany did struggle a little bit on the Rice last week, at least a bit less successful than they were on the LNs, but Indonesia also had some decent trip-ups of their own on some of the rice picks over Italy. So we'll see how this one goes, because I think chokes do a lot of damage on a pick like this.
Well, granted, they are somewhat diluted by the length of the map and the sheer amount of nodes that are in this map. So I feel like if any of the teams have a accuracy advantage, it's going to carry over to maybe saving them maybe 1 or 2 misses, like as a buffer.
And we'll see exactly who ends up with that accuracy advantage. Out of the gates, everyone off to very strong starts, but Indonesia off to a little bit better overall. 99.9s across the board for them.
Germany not too far behind for now. We're going to see how it stabilizes in the end. Medium kick, catching a 200, kind of dipping them down below 99.8, but it is still recoverable.
Yeah, how do you say that name? Ilderum also dropping below 99.8 at the same time, while Indonesia, yeah, does drop a little bit of accuracy, but overall still solid on their side.
Yeah, they do have 2 carries right now, Fia and Rei. The four-letter legends, and I do notice now that Indonesia has an entire 4-character lobby.
The short names showing off here, but Crusader of Sox does find the first miss, dropping down to 99.7, but that's going to give a fairly strong lead over to Indonesia off the combo advantage.
Yeah, it's a fairly clean miss, all things considered. 99.75 is still really good accuracy, can still challenge Indonesia if they catch a couple of misses on their end.
14,000 points on a map that is this long, one of the longer maps in the pool as well, is going to be hard to come back from Germany. They're going to need a few misses on the side of Indonesia, as this accuracy lead is growing as the map progresses. 99.6, medium kick dropping, hitting really early it looks like.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, especially since Indonesia is still growing their accuracy lead. Yeah, catching up to 99.85. Coming from 99.8, that is a really good thing to have on their end.
Medium kick did find a miss as well in that less dense section as well, lessening up the tension a little bit too much there, and now that's going to be only 1 full combo left for Germany versus the 3 for Indonesia, and a repeated miss as well for medium kick. 30,000 points now the lead, and Indonesia's just going to run away with the point.
Yeah, at this point we are coming to the ending of this bit, and 35,000 points is definitely not recoverable. Unfortunate that medium kick is seeing those misses, and Ilderum catching that miss in the ending. Unfortunate. I think that was the first miss of the bit.
Yeah, definitely all 3 players on Germany now losing their full combos, but still 3 full combos on Indonesia. And a very, very strong first pick here coming out of Indonesia. Almost a 3-way double S, but still lowest score being 995k on that team. That is an exceptionally solid team score.
Yeah, 92 300s on Rays and totaling up to 998.7. That is a really high score. That is a really high score, but perhaps not the highest we've seen, which is kind of scary to think about. But it is around a 16.
Yeah, it goes to show why they want to be picking some of these Rice maps, and also why it's so interesting that they've banned Rice 3. Because, I mean, if they start setting scores like that, you would expect them to also do at least pretty well on Rice 3, but either way, Germany now gets all of their LM maps, all 3 of them still open if they want to go to those right away. But actually, we're going to be seeing hybrid instead.
Oh, that's an interesting choice coming from Germany. Not necessarily opting for full LN or anything, but just dipping their toes with the speedy hybrid.
Not every day you see both teams immediately picking the same category that they banned.
Yeah, I do feel like between the different hybrids there are a few subtleties, and it is exactly because of those subtleties that Germany is opting to ban Hybrid 3 and rather pick Hybrid 1, which is the speedier, more straightforward type of hybrid.
Yeah, this one definitely much more straightforward than Hybrid 3, that's for sure. Maybe that is the difference maker that Germany is hoping for here. Let's see who they decided to switch in. It looks like Indonesia is going to switch in Rezared.
Yeah, Germany also switching in someone else besides Ilderum and Saiwin.
In fact, Shawin themselves coming in for the first time as well. So 2 players swapping in for Germany. Serbia going to be joining also. And just the 1 switch out from Indonesia in comparison.
It is rather funny seeing a hola coming from a Serbe in the chat, given that it doesn't match any of the languages that we should be speaking here. Like between German... Wait, what? Which language do they speak in Indonesia? Indonesian? Question mark? Yeah? In English.
Yeah. And English, yeah. But let's see how this plays out for Germany, their first pick. So one that you would have to imagine they're fairly comfortable on.
Alright, let's see. Survey up to a false start. Kind of a late start right now, but still recoverable. Ilderum also a little bit behind compared to the rest of the Indonesian players, off to a actually stellar start, really. Averaging almost 99.9.
Yeah, all 3 players on Germany with a little bit of act drop in that introduction there. All down to the mid-99s, but have some time to build up that accuracy again.
It is rather intimidating for the German team to be trying to challenge this type of accuracy coming from Indonesia. That I wasn't quite expecting this kind of performance right now on the hybrid number 1 coming from Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia is looking super comfortable right now on this, all with 99.8. 2 of these on 99.87 even. And as Germany still has some decent scores of their own, Sewin on 99.66, it is still just a fairly significant accuracy difference across the team.
Yeah, I feel like Indonesia could afford like maybe 1, 2, or 3 misses even, given their accuracy advantage right now.
Germany having to hope for some pretty big mistakes, but Serbia actually being the one to find the first miss of the map. Germany now in a big hole, 30,000 points for Indonesia on their first pick.
Saiwin
That's
trying to catch up on accuracy, but catching a miss instead.
And only 1 full combo left for Germany, 3 for Indonesia. They're still holding on to some extreme consistency. Rezared does find the first miss of the match for Indonesia, but it's looking like way too little and much too late in the map.
Yeah, it was a clean miss as well. Doesn't put a dent whatsoever in Indonesia's lead, and we are coming to the ending with 40,000 points almost of lead.
An exceptionally strong performance here from Indonesia, looking unfazed. Germany with some strong scores themselves, consistently within that 970, 980 range, but not enough as a team to outmatch Indonesia's full combos here.
Yeah, I do feel like the hybrid 1 pick was definitely worth a try just to get the information out of the way. But now that they've got this information, I feel like for their next pick, they definitely have to change their strategy a little bit.
where does Indonesia go now? Because with such a strong performance on the hybrid there, I mean, I guess they can't really pick the other hybrid. That's too different of a map overall. So, I mean, I guess they would have to go back to the rice pool.
But yeah, right now Indonesia's pick is definitely there's definitely a lot of options open for Indonesia, but they are going to opt for the option they went for at first, which is rice number 1 following up to rice number 2.
And this one really kind of playing on, I guess, the physicality difference here, the speed pick coming out. Indonesia, in theory, going to be much more comfortable on some of the harder patterns, some of the more physically pushing of this speed map in particular. So the comfort should definitely be there for Indonesia to have the advantage.
And what a banger to be playing this match on. Looking forward to see what Indonesia can do on this one as well. They definitely held their heads high on rice number 2, and rice number 1 is definitely not going to be an exception.
Okay, looks like we are actually seeing an interesting roster from Germany coming out here. We're seeing a very different roster to what we saw on the first rice map that was played. Serbia and Sewin were not in that first pick. And Indonesia going straight back to the same roster that they had on the rice 2.
Yeah, I do feel like there are some subtleties between jump stream and streams/speed. So definitely justifiable to have some roster changes within Germany.
Maybe more important also to prioritize the combo just a little bit more as well when you're getting into patterns like this. Not necessarily expecting many players to be able to sharpshoot this accuracy too much, but it looks like on the side of Indonesia, that's exactly what they're attempting to do.
Not too much of a lead for Indonesia right now. It is still challengeable. If Indonesia doesn't hold the combo all the way through, it's definitely going to be an occasion for Germany to get a first point.
Yeah, Serbia on Team Germany definitely putting in a lot of work there. Does drop a little bit of accuracy down at the high 99.7s, but all of Indonesia holding strong at 99.9. And this accuracy lead is slowly growing over time. Crusader of Socks does find the first miss in the chorus.
Yeah, a miss in the middle of such a short pick is spelling a little bit of a doom for Germany, but it is Indonesia's pick.
Accuracy difference only growing over time as Indonesia's holding on. Ray in particular is increasing the accuracy over time, 99.93.
Yeah, Ray throughout this match has shown not only consistency but also high accuracy proficiency over all of the picks they've played.
Absolutely solid across all of the Indonesian squad right now. Germany still with the 2 FCs, but the accuracy is definitely the much bigger hole that they need to try and crawl out of here, because 30,000 points, I mean, that's just not recoverable whatsoever.
Yeah, just seeing how consistent Indonesia has been on the rise especially is definitely a mountain to overcome for Germany right now. It's pretty intimidating, but it is after what Indonesia is picking. So what Germany can do is probably pick into a lens, I want to say.
That's a crazy score from Ray, 997k, almost getting the 2-digit 300 count.
Yeah, 101, just a little bit shy of the 2-digit. But yeah, just looking at the 300 count from the entire Indonesian team, comparing them to Germany, there is absolutely no doubt that Indonesia has an accuracy advantage over Germany. So if you add those combo breaks coming from Germany into the math, yeah, it is a pretty resounding advantage coming from Indonesia on the rice category.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see what Germany decide to go with. I mean, LN pool untouched. It feels like that has to be the obvious place to go towards. That said, I haven't actually seen any teams so far, at least not the matches that I've watched, pick Hybrid 2.
Yeah, I feel like Hybrid 2 is a little bit of an unpopular pick. I feel it's rather niche and only comes into particular stages of a match.
We are going to be going into the LN pool right away, going to be into a bit more of a tricky pick out of the LN pool, LN3 being picked first.
It is quite interesting to see LN number 3 come first, rather than
Hybrid 4.
Yeah, the Hybrid 4, so to speak, come into play as the first LN pick. Usually see people go for LN2 or LN1, but I gotta stop saying hybrid. LN3 is kind of a niche. I thought was kind of a niche strategic pick as well, but right now Germany is opting for it.
I guess Germany wants to kind of stray away from some of the more straightforward LN picks that maybe Indonesia might be too comfortable getting their combo and accuracy on. Germany definitely do need to hope for Indonesia to find a few misses, so maybe picking the more, I guess, volatile pick out of the LNs might be a good idea for them.
Will Indonesia show signs of vulnerability finally on the first LN pick of the match?
And Resurred actually finding an early miss here for Team Indonesia. Germany getting exactly what they wanted early on in this match, but looking at the accuracies, it's still actually looking like it might not be enough to give Germany the advantage.
Yeah, right now it is the accuracy advantage coming from Indonesia that keeps them alive. That keeps the points alive for them.
And Ilderim definitely struggling in the accuracy department quite a lot, down at 99.2 and still dropping some 200s here and there. Indonesia's players all holding in the high 99 range, all above the 3 German players.
Yeah, I gotta hope for some more misses here, and here we go! One miss coming from Is that going to be enough for Germany to catch their first point?
It definitely came with a bit of an accuracy drop, but I don't think that accuracy drop looks like it's enough quite yet. This accuracy difference is massive currently for Indonesia, despite the 2 misses.
Yeah, I gotta hope for some more for Germany. But Germany also has to build up their accuracy if they want to kind of exploit those vulnerabilities coming from Indonesia.
You definitely would think Serbian Sewin right now. Oh, Sewin does find a miss. I was gonna say, Serbian Sewin definitely matching the output of and Rezored, but it's just no one able to match Rei on the side of Indonesia with that full combo for Indonesia.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate, and we are coming towards the end of the map as Serbia misses on Germany's side, with only Ilderim being alive right now.
Resurred does find another miss, but it's looking like that's just not going to be enough. The accuracy stays intact. Rei absolutely crushing it. Yeah,
actually people breaking, but the advantage is too much towards Indonesia.
Misses here, Indonesia. Got to be careful a little bit, but still, that buffer was absolutely there. Dropped about 10k of that lead at the very end of the map, which is kind of scary a little bit, but Rei is there to clean up. 995k, absolutely crushing the lobby on this one.
Yeah, I do feel like Ray's performance does keep Indonesia above the waters. As this pick was really scary to watch for Indonesia. Like Indonesia is not like is not invulnerable to misses as we could see here. So definitely something that Germany could exploit to try and get a point. But right now it is 4-0 for Indonesia. It is match point. One more point for Indonesia, and they can get rid of Germany within this tournament, as we are in the losers bracket.
And Germany might not be able to pick their protect in the end as well, as Indonesia could finish it off right here with their own. Oh, never mind. Germany gets to play their protect.
Well, I guess let's go. Sure, let's go for LN2 if you want to. I guess given Ray's proficiency on LN accuracy, I feel it's a fairly decent pick for Indonesia, anyways.
Well, it did look quite good for Indonesia on the other LN pick, despite the number of misses that were picked up for Team Indonesia versus only, I think, 1 or 2 misses from Team Germany. The accuracy difference was so massive that it didn't even matter in the end either way. So if Indonesia can pull off another act difference that large, then they might be feeling comfortable. Even if they miss, they know they can still win.
It was 196 BPM with not necessarily 100% straightforward structure here. So definitely an occasion for Indonesia to shed some blood.
Let's see how this one goes. Potential last map of the tournament for Germany, unless they can pull off a win here.
As we go into the pick itself, Ray is definitely very comfortable in this pick, as we predicted, but Resurrect as well. Germany just coming out alive in terms of combo, but as we saw in the previous picks, Indonesia was still the accuracy advantage.
Yeah, this accuracy is so good for Indonesia as well. Ilderim getting 99.3, struggling a little bit, falling behind. Serbia and Sewin holding with that mid 99 as well. So overall, very similar to the last map, we're seeing a big accuracy lead team-wide.
Germany building up their accuracy, but right now 20,000 points to catch up is pretty scary to think about. Is Indonesia going to combo break to let Germany into at least 1 point?
I mean, Indonesia have been missing on some of these LN maps in the hybrid earlier as well. But so far, it's looking like they're holding strong. Even a couple of misses here might be safe enough, because 30,000 points is a really massive lead towards the end of the map. Yeah, it does drop a little bit of accuracy overall, but nothing really to sweat about so far.
Yeah, I gotta hope for something to happen, but it is way too late into the map, as we are going into the outro of the song, and we can just close the match right now as we witness Ray's clean V1SS 190 300s. Resurrect almost Resurrect, and yeah, also almost clean runs with only 1 200, and at least Germany still has a lobby full combo. That 50 was not a combo break coming from Ilderim.
Yeah, really strong team score from Germany. Just unfortunate that they are versing Indonesia on a really strong day for them, it looks like. Great team performance out of Indonesia, and they're looking to tear up some of these lower bracket teams in the future weeks as well. Shout out to Ray as well. 5 FC's 5 MVPs for Ray there in the lobby.
Yeah, very clean run coming from Ray. Definitely a player to watch out for, especially coming into the quarterfinals.